Crypto.com is going to offer 20% APY for a limited time on the CRO token. These are some of the most massive rewards that we've seen in a very long time from Crypto.com. And the number one question that I've been getting all day and that I've seen being asked on crypto Twitter, or on X as we call it now, is this worth it? We've got to talk about this today. I told you guys I'd be giving you an update on this later today, and I even put out a tweet asking for your feedback. We're going to go through that tweet and we're going to talk about this breaking news from Crypto.com for this limited time offer to receive 20% APY on a 1-year lockup, a limited time event, first come, first serve basis. Is this worth it? Well, I'm going to give you guys my honest answer in this video, and I think it's going to be a little controversial. So we'll talk a little bit about it today, guys. If you like this content, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. If you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments down below as well, because I'm going to give you my honest truth on how I feel about this one right here, and I think you see where I'm going with this, guys. All right, let's go ahead and hop right in. So this is the big story on the day. The highly anticipated BTC halving is coming soon. And so in anticipation for this, they're giving a very generous offer, a very, very generous offer of 20% APY, as much CRO as you want to do, which is it's actually very incredible. I have to acknowledge that this is an insane opportunity, but is it worth it? Is it worth it? So there's no cap on rewards, limited time only, first come, first serve. So they put some urgency behind it. And I see that a lot of people are very excited about this. Today, we are at a $2.61 trillion market cap. Bitcoin is at $70,000, $68,000, basically at its previous all-time highs right now. And what we've been saying a lot in this crypto space is that we are very, very early. And so in order to kind of answer this question of is this worth it, let me first start by looking at what is going on with Bitcoin. And this is important, guys, because if you're trying to figure out if it's worth it, what you need to consider is when is this bull market going to go until? Because this is a 1-year lockup period. And if you lock up your CRO for an entire year, you do not have an option to unlock that CRO. Today, at the time of this recording, it is March 27th of 2024. And if you lock it up today, you will not be able to unlock it until March 27th of 2025. So what do you have to consider as you're making this decision, guys? And you should make this decision on your own. You should do your own research. None of this is financial advice. Let's talk a little bit about it. So I'm going to go back first to the 2013 peak of the bull run to lay out something for you to consider. From peak to peak, how long did the bull market last? Well, from the top of the last bull market to the peak of the following, that went 1,470 days. Now, in the most recent bull market, then you go back to 2017 and you look from that high to the most recent bull market. How long did that last? 1,421 days. Okay. So we have three different bull markets to kind of compare peaks to peaks, about 1,400 days. So let's just pretend hypothetically, who cares how high it goes? How long does it last, right? Before it crashes. Because eventually, and I do believe that it's going to crash again. We've discussed that. There's bull markets and bear markets. Let's conservatively say 1,350 conservatively, okay? That takes you to August of 2025. So if this bull market lasted as long as the previous couple bull markets from peak to peak, then technically you still would be safe in having your money accessible to sell in case CRO goes to $5 and you want to take profit. Because if you're not planning on taking profit on your CRO, then I personally strongly disagree with that. We are going to be taking profit on all of our cryptocurrencies that we hold. The only one you might be able to debate with me you don't want to take profit on is Bitcoin. Maybe you have one Bitcoin remaining and you don't want to sell that. I can understand that. But you better be taking profit, and not financial advice. I'm going to be taking profit on the way up through this bull market. But the reality of the fact is this. I don't believe that the bull market's going to last this long. And I know that a lot of other people believe this with me. Well, why am I saying that? Because everybody agrees that this bull market is ahead of schedule. Now, if all of a sudden Bitcoin slips off a cliff and we have a hardcore reset, a 30% crash, and then we reset into the halving and we then have bullish continuation, maybe we do last 13 to 1400 days. But at this rate, we are pushing more and more towards a blow off top. And it could happen. We could move up a lot faster, but we also could crash a lot sooner. And so let's just pretend that maybe from peak to peak, we only last, I don't know, 1,000 days. We lose about 500 days of bull market. Well, that brings you to July, so you're still safe, technically. Oh, that's July of 2024. You know, you'd be in big trouble. You'd be in big trouble if it only lasted 1,000 days. Big trouble. How about if it lasted, let's say, from peak to peak, 1,200 days? Well, that would only get you to February of 2025, okay? So let me go back, and I will go over to the big question here again and answer it for you now, finally. This morning, I tweeted out, "Good morning. This is honestly insane. 20% APY for 1 year CRO lockup. The question, is it worth it? Comment below to be featured on our video later today." And here you go. So I retweeted this. We had a lot of comments. First, we're going to start off with Sean.Crow, and I'm not going to go through all these, but I'm going to talk some of these. He says, if I put 100K, and I think he means $100,000 in CRO, I get 20K. No, I think he means CRO. If I put 100K CRO, I get 20K CRO in return over 1 year, which is pretty good, right? But he says, if I just sell 100K CRO at $1 during the bull market, I make 100K versus 20K, if that makes sense to you guys. I'll take the 100K and keep staking for the card. That's long-term support for CDC. I think what he's saying is that he believes that the lockup period for the card is going to help support Crypto.com and CRO the best, as opposed to these other incentives that they're offering. There's one take. So he is essentially saying, no, he doesn't think that it's worth it. Not even a little bit. I watched a video he did earlier today. He said maybe you take a portion of your CRO. Okay, so let's move on, and I'm going to give you my opinion towards the end of this. Francis Wong came out with a pretty decent opinion here, saying split your CRO in short-term profit taking and some for longer-term accumulation. Then it's not a bad deal. So he thinks maybe it is a bad deal. But if you split it up, maybe then it's not a bad deal. Fifth Gear, a VVS ambassador, a big name in the crypto Cronos space, at least on X, says that he thinks majority of people would be better sticking to DeFi. Well, the 20% is nice. The 1 year lockup is a bit long. Personally, I'd rather create a V3 pair with VVS and stick it in the farm with VVS and get rewarded. And here he screenshots your CRO VVS liquidity pool APR, which is actually pretty incredible right now at 22%. Brumana says, I'm all in on CRO. We're going to moon. This 28% APY will be insane. He's a big fan of this, and I don't know if he staked it or if he's supporting it or what. Has a couple likes there. This guy says, this guy says, it's a trap. It's a trap. I laughed at that. I thought that was a funny gift. Cronos the God says, definitely worth it, but I would allocate a maximum of 30% of my CRO bag. So Cronos the God of CRO agrees with Francis Wong, a percentage of the portfolio. Grab a Bag says, absolutely not. This guy's talking about being a degen. My only worry is missing the potential top, depending on the campaign, and since it's limited edition. Looks great, but I didn't see that option when I looked this morning. We see, let's see, absolutely worth it, one person says. Oh, yes, already did, another person says. I have all my CRO in DeFi, and some people are asking me, is it worth it to stake? I'm getting these questions. You see, nah, not worth it. No, because they don't want you to sell their bags from McLovin. Okay, Now I'm going to come out and give my opinion, guys. I'm going to go back to Sean.Crow's opinion here. And also, I'm going to highlight Cronos, the god of crows, opinion. They would allocate maybe a percentage, but not the whole thing. I personally think, guys, and this is your decision to make. You must make this decision on your own. If you think that the bull market's going to last the full 1,400 days, like we just talked about, and you don't think it's going to get cut short, because if it only lasts 1,200 days and you lock it up today, well, guess what? You're not going to get to sell the top. I personally am not going to lock up a penny of my crow, okay? I'm not going to do it. I would use it for the DeFi app. I would use it in potentially a liquidity pool. Right now, you guys know that I'm trading some meme tokens trying to increase my crow positions. But I personally do not want to get tied into a lockup right now, okay? But like you saw with Sean.Crow here, he said he's going to take some profit in the bull market, wait for the bear market, and then he wants to he wants to stake his money into the crypto.com card to then earn more APY, use the card, and buy low on his crow in a bear market. Because inevitably, guys, at some point, okay, and I am agreeing here with Sean.Crow, because at some point, yes, we're going to have some kind of massive pump, likely, hopefully, on crypto.com's crow coin token. We're going to move up, and then eventually, boom, it's going to fall off a cliff. And in just a short from there to that wick, that's only 1 month, crow crashed 50%, guys. And so if you're locked up, you're not going to be able to take profits when all of a sudden we get massive green candles for crow, and you're going to want to be taking profits on the way up. You're here to make some money. These are investments. You're going to want to take profits on the way up. And if you permanently lock your crow up for 365 days and you don't get a say in pulling it out, you might miss this potential blow off top that might happen for CRO. So I personally do not want to do this with my crow. It's fantastic rewards. And if you guys want to do this, then you must do your own research. You must make your own decision. And I support your decision. If you've made your own research and you want to do this, it's your money. You guys can do whatever you want with it. But I definitely think there's something to be said about this. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about this. I have the rose gold card. For those of you guys that know anything about the rose gold card, you need $40,000 US to lock up to get your rose gold card. A mistake, if you want to call it a mistake, that I made in the last bull market was I locked my $40,000 up a little bit late. That wasn't my entire crypto bag. I still got a chance to make profits and make money in the last bull market. That's why we started this channel, because we had some success. We want to share some of the success with people. But this maneuver specifically that I made with this card, I locked up my card for a full 180 days, and it didn't come unlocked until somewhere, honestly, in here. And so honestly, I rode a large portion of my crow position specifically through this bear market and just accumulated more through to get to my 500,000 crow bag, like we've talked about here on this channel, which is now 300,000 because I'm dabbling with some of the memes in the ecosystem. You know about this probably if you're watching. If not, well, subscribe to the channel. We're doing a lot of content on these every day. But what I'm talking about and I wasn't even sharing the screen. And again, I was saying, you know, I had to ride that specific amount through some of this and got to take, you know, unlock it in here. And then you get to decide, do you want to sell all through in here, or you want to hold through a bear market? You get to do whatever you guys want to do through that. That's not the conversation of the day. The conversation of the day is, should you lock up your crow into this amazing opportunity, limited time, now or never opportunity for crypto.com? Now, it's your choice, but I'm going to let you guys know that I'm personally not going to do it because I want the ability to take profit on my crow. Instead, what might be more incentivizing is to maybe take 5% of your crow bag, 10% of your crow bag, to go ahead and maybe you stake 5 or 10% of that up, like the Cronos guy said on Twitter that I just showed you. where maybe you want a long-term bag for CRO that you're going to hold for a long time. You want 20% APY. That's really good. Maybe you go ahead and do that. Maybe what you do, like Sean.Crow said, is you take profit in the peak of the bull market or on the way up, and then you wait and you wait and you wait until the bottom of a bear market, or what you think the bottom of the bear market is. And then you take your US dollar profit that you made with this CRO profit and you buy back in. And when you buy back in, maybe then you stake for a rose gold card in a bear market. Frankly, staking for these cards makes the most sense in a bear market or very, very, very early on in a bull market, because you have to lock it up for 180 days. When it comes to locking up your bags, folks, you must be very careful. Some people are super excited about this, and those are likely the people that aren't going to take any profit in this bull market. Or maybe I'm wrong, and maybe those people believe that this bull market is going to continue far into 2025. And if that's the case, that would be spectacular if this bull market did continue past March, past April of 2025, giving everybody the opportunity to take advantage of the 20% APY, make all this money this year, and then unlock it and take profit. That would be insane. That would be an insane success story. That is possible for everybody out there. That is possible. But is that the bet that you want to make with your money? If you're all in on CRO, or if you have a huge position in CRO, or even if you have any kind of significant amount of money in CRO, is that a risk that you want to take with your bags? I'm genuinely asking you guys. Let me know what your feedback is in the comment section on this. Do you want to take advantage of this 20%? Are you going to do it with your full CRO bag? Are you going to do it with a percentage? I am personally not going to do it. I personally do not think that it's worth it. That is my personal opinion. I highly recommend that you guys do your own research on this, make your own decision. It's interesting that it's a limited time thing. I wonder why. I'm not too sure myself, but I do think that it is certainly a very interesting offer, and I do think that this 20% APY reward is very fantastic. Now, I'll say this. If people are locking their CRO up for a full year for this 20% APY, that would prove to be incredibly bullish for Cronos. Why? Because then it alleviates any selling pressure. The more people that lock their CRO up, the less selling pressure there can be, guys. And that is pretty exciting. So there's some positives to this. There's some negatives to this. But at the end of the day, it is your decision to decide what you want to do with your CRO. I personally like the idea of maybe a small percentage, or maybe not locking it up, taking profit in a bull market, and then just going for these card stakes to support crypto.com, to also support yourself by taking profit and then earning some nice cash back on these awesome rewards. I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations in crypto, so I really do want to give you guys my honest opinion on this. I want your full feedback on this one in the comments down below, guys. That is all I got in this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was long awaited. Some people were asking me what I was going to do. Just because I'm doing something doesn't mean you should necessarily do it, guys. You have to do your own research, make your own choices here. That's all I got in this one. I'm Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more crypto content. And as always, guys, you got to remember to DCA, HODL. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. 2 videos for you right here if you want to check it out. More content tomorrow. As always, we'll keep it coming, guys. Peace.